Hello, and welcome to the second episode of my podcast. Today, we're going to take a look into the fascinating connection between mindfulness and Stoic philosophy. While these practices may initially seem quite distinct from one another, you'll soon discover how they're intricately linked, empowering us to lead more self-aware and resilient lives. So let's dive in and explore the ways mindfulness and stoicism interweave and complement each other. To begin, let's consider a practical example that beautifully illustrates the intersection of mindfulness and stoicism: road rage. Imagine you're driving and the person in front of you is moving at a frustratingly slow pace. The natural reaction for many of us would be to feel annoyed and perhaps even lash out in anger. But if we apply mindfulness and stoicism to the situation, we'll find a whole new perspective. Mindfulness, the practice of being fully present and aware of our thoughts, emotions, and sensations without judgment, helps us recognize our annoyance and anger as they arise. Instead of being consumed by these emotions, we simply observe them and allow them to pass without letting them dictate our actions or mood. At the same time, Stoic philosophy teaches us to focus on what we can control, such as our thoughts, emotions, and actions. In the context of our driving scenario, we can't control the speed of the car ahead of us, but we can control how we react to it. By integrating mindfulness into our practice of Stoicism, we become more self-aware and better equipped to choose a virtuous response to the situation at hand. One might argue that changing our reactions in the heat of the moment is easier said than done, and that's true. However, it's precisely at these moments that mindfulness can be our greatest ally. By cultivating awareness of our thoughts and emotions, we can catch ourselves before we're too far down the rabbit hole of negativity and choose a different, more virtuous path. Now, let me share a personal example that showcases the power of mindfulness and stoicism working together. Some time ago, a few of my coworkers were gossiping about another colleague, describing them as weird and trying to include me in the conversation. Initially, I started agreeing with them and engaging in the gossip. However, my mindfulness practice suddenly kicked in, making me aware of my actions and their impact. I realized that I was participating in something unkind and not in line with Stoic principles. Remembering the tenets of Stoic philosophy, I recognized I couldn't control my co-workers' gossip, but I could control my own participation in it. With mindfulness as my guide, I chose to disengage from the conversation and adopt a more virtuous response. In doing so, I not only acted in accordance with my values, but also demonstrated the transformative power of mindfulness and Stoic philosophy in action. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to this episode. As we've seen through these examples, mindfulness and Stoic philosophy are deeply interconnected, each enhancing the other to help us develop self-awareness, self-control, and resilience in the face of adversity. By incorporating both practices into our lives, we can work towards living more virtuously and navigating life's challenges with grace and wisdom. Thank you again for listening, and take care.